Hello, this is Vivian, July 12th, 2016, Tuesday. And I did get all the okra transplanted into pots. These are probably all too small, especially the smaller ones. The 1-gallon pots are too small. And I've been referring to these as red and purple okra, but it's actually Burgundy. I looked at the seed packet and the little name I had on there. And the ones I transplanted when I should have are getting huge. Look at the grasshopper. These leaves are sturdy. And here's the first okra that I noticed, and we got several more. It's got 2 good ones on there and another one on that one. Just 3 of them here in the buckets that I transplanted when I should have. And here's the 3 sunflowers I transplanted at the same time. And I put some into the melon buckets. These are the Korean yellow melons or Jewel melons. You can see where this one has decided to use this stalk, okra stalk. This little one will have time yet, so I didn't even cage this one, hoping that the okra will provide something for it to grow up on. So I'm doing different things, trying out different stuff, and okra, if you've not tried it raw, is very delicious when it's still small. If it's small as your pinky finger, it's okay. Once it gets bigger than your largest finger, it's probably too tough, too fibery, and needs to be cut up and cooked. But I thought I'd try a variety that I can't just go out and buy, because I've not seen anything but regular green okra, which is the commercial kind. This one I didn't put out of the bucket and left it in, and see the little melon, and then it's got another one over here somewhere. Yeah, there, see it. And I've been just coming over here and just taking the vine and putting it up. I broke the tip of this vine. See, I'm trying to get it finagled, so I had to be more gentle after that. So they'll come up, and I don't care about them getting overly big. I think I've stated in another video that as long as I can get 2 or 3 per plant, that's about all I'm expecting from growing this way. More would be nice. And you get them when they're about the size of a cat's head, a little bit larger. Strawberries are doing really well. And the ones I had used the black stones on, I had either disconnected them from the mother plant and then put them up into the wall, or if they hadn't rooted well enough, I went ahead and put the glass on there. So next week I'll start back with the black stones. Everything has glass, so I know that those are going to be, you know, the time frame of how long I've been trying to root them. I did lose that one. But otherwise, not getting any strawberries anymore. It's too hot. There's no blooms being developed, but because of the constant watering, they're producing runners like crazy. So I probably can cut that one. Yeah, I can probably cut that one off. But it still needs to stay right there, so might as well leave it on there as long as possible for the other one to get rooted well. The heather. I've been very fortunate that I got 5 to germinate and survive to this point. Oh, excuse me, lavender, not heather. Heather is another thing I'd like to see if I can grow. I may go up 1 more bucket in the wall. And the thing about this is I can go ahead and move the whole entire thing to another location. You see, like, got some more runners coming up. And when it starts getting cooler, I'll be able to frame over this thing and cover them and protect them, and just put a soaker hose through the thing to keep watering them every so often. I've had several get start turning yellow. It's a low nitrogen. So while I go out today, I'll pick up some ammonia, and hopefully that should fix the problem. And the purslane that was in this bucket originally, look how beautiful that's come back. Look at that. One of these is the one that had, no, the Black Widow. Anyway, there's probably some more Black Widow out here. But the flowers will open up later in the day. But isn't that pretty? And it's an edible. Doesn't taste all that great to me, but I'm letting it get some establishment here in the containers. I've never done well with watermelon, and I'm still kind of expecting them to crack or something. But this is the one that I didn't transplant out of the bucket. I'm not expecting a huge thing from this since it's very limited root-wise. And this one had already shriveled up. That was a watermelon. But I just wanted to get it off the ground because ants were already starting to come over here. And here's another one. So I don't know. But I'm trying to stay more consistent with watering and see if maybe I can harvest some. But there's a guy down the road that sells his watermelon pretty cheap. And I go over there once a week and get 2 or 3 watermelons. Seriously, we go through a lot of watermelon. Our goats love the rinds. We love the watermelon. And I like the seeded ones better. They seem to have a lot more flavor, but a little bit more work, so what. And that's where I got the seeds from. These was from one of his watermelons last year. We have never eaten as many watermelons as we had done last year, and we're probably going to beat that this year. So it was a long oblong, not round. So I've been enjoying it. The one I thought was going to die made a nice comeback. I've not noticed or really looked for more melons in the other ones. I just have the 4 plants of the watermelons. They see the nice pretty flowers. And certainly these, even though they do vine and they do climb up, the melons are way too big to just hang off the vine. So they have to be hammocked or supported some other way if you do trellis them, or they do go up something. So I'm just letting them sprawl. I guess the purple is a new thing because my mom had never seen one, and I took one, that's where the hole there, I took one over there to her, and they start out real kinky, curly. Something's been eaten on that. And then this is what the typical green one looks like. So this is my first time with purple Perilla. I'm not even eaten one of those yet. It's all new to me. And then I still got more that I can transplant, and of the green variety too. But I definitely wanted to get the green ones really well established, and those buckets should be plenty of space for their roots. I am having a hard time with my tomatoes. The easiest plant for most people to grow, I have problems with. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest what I can, and then reuse the pots. So some okra and perilla and some other things I want to plant are going to be done. That's the one I took the sucker from, and it's not flowered. It looks like it's about to. It's at the very top. So maybe I'll just take that away from the rest of them. But the squash bugs, I noticed had come over. I don't see them any right now. Maybe they come out later in the day. But here it is, not quite 9 o'clock and already getting sweltering hot. This one has 3 that I put in here deliberately, and some I just tossed to the side and they rooted, and I just let it be and see how it goes from in here. And I need to come in and harvest a bunch of sage, but I did harvest a bunch of lemon balm, and they smell so good. And I need to come in here and thin it out again some more. So just using them for tea. Although my husband likes snacking on the fresh leaves, but they are just amazing the lemon smell that you can get from that. Isn't that an interesting spider? So I try not to take those in the house with me when I come in here and cut. And I guess the potatoes are doing well, and I definitely lost one of the red potato plants that was growing in there, and I did dig in and it was all rotted and mush on that one, but the other two seem to be okay. I'm not going to add any more dirt. I'm just going to leave it at this point like that. The stevia, look at that. That's one plant, you can see. Whoop. Yeah, that's stevia too. I pulled that as a weed. But I need to go ahead and start cutting them. I like using fresh rosemary. I've got plenty of store-bought dried rosemary. I don't feel the need to dry it. I really want to learn how to propagate rosemary and have a bunch. I would love to have this just surround my house. And the eggplants, got some more growing. It's kind of funky. I don't know why this one is curling instead of just hanging straight. But we got several more growing, so I'm looking forward to a dinner of them in the not too distant future. And they're all doing much better. I thought that big one was all wilty when I didn't water for a day, but they're all doing so much better now. And the chestnuts, I may have lost one in the woods, maybe more. I hadn't checked on the two on the side of the property. And thyme, I'll get that, to get them transplanted eventually. But I've got the kids and family visiting from out of state, so I better get in, get cleaned up, and get going. So that's the garden update. And I'm excited about the melons. Those things are expensive. I can only find them at the Asian market. One time I did find them at Walmart. And I think that's where I've got the seeds from these, because they were bigger, of course, for the American market. Who's going to buy a melon that's only, that big for the price that we pay? Yeah, crazy Koreans. So they were much bigger, and the seeds, you couldn't just eat them. They were very big. So I saved them. And that's what we're getting these from. And just thought I'd show you. This is the wild amaranth. Had some growing in the patch over there. Letting it go to seed so I can collect the seeds from this. And that's something new for me. I should dig it up and put it somewhere so I know that I can get the seeds from it. And we still, the tent caterpillars have killed that cherry tree pretty much. So we need to, I've asked them to cut it down and move it and burn it, because they will invade and munch on other stuff. Here's the Yukon gold, or white waxy. That doesn't look too good down there. I put 4 in here. May have already lost one of them. So, not so pretty, but it's getting better. My 2 surviving ginger from all that I started last year. And I still need to clean up that. But we're starting to get fire ants coming in the house. So I've got to get some bait. It takes a little bit longer, but I prefer using that over sprays. And my son sprayed around the house, along the foundation. And that's another reason why you really shouldn't plant stuff around the house, but they're in containers, so hopefully that's not going to be contaminated that way. And that just looks pretty. I would love to just have a ground cover of strawberries that we can walk through and eat. And one day when I use up buckets end of the season, I'm going to start conditioning the soil here. We'll start working on this and doing a back to Eden type thing. But this is just like building on top of cement almost. But If anything's gonna make it usable, I mean, clay is full of nutrients, but plants can't get at them because they get so hard. So I'm gonna start mixing and come in here and mulch. So next year, I'm not gonna buy any new containers, I hope. So I can keep things going and maybe get all the 1 gallons for strawberry growing, and hopefully we'll be doing more harvesting than rooting more new plants. That's my goal anyway, Lord willing. And other projects are coming up. Still need to mulch the orchard and bring all the kiwi down and have them all close by. I wanted to plant some. I found spots where I like to plant them, but I can't plant them until I know which ones are male and female. Then I'll be able to do it appropriately. Hopefully I've got at least 2 males and the rest females would be ideal. But it still would be good to know, and then I can mark the containers and go from there. Thanks for watching.